This is effectively the new Vitara. It's called the Escudo. There was a man from Land Rover on this stand yesterday. He wandered on, uninvited, was taking great interest in this car. I suggested to him that it might be a serious challenger to the Freelander. He said no, shrugged his shoulders, walks away. If I were him, I'd be a worried man. John Norman, we've heard a lot about Suzuki's plans for the future. From where you stand in the UK, what's the programme for all these fabulous new models? I think the one behind us is quite significant, isn't it?
Well, what we've been discussing this morning, Mike, is the priorities for UK, particularly as well, you know very well, and our dealers have been asking when is the next generation of 4x4. Four-wheel drive has represented 60 to 70% of our total business for the last 15 years. We've got to get back in now with the next generation, which is the one you see behind it, which is the first important one for next year.
It's badged as the Escudo here, but probably a different name for the UK, I would suspect. It's going to replace, isn't it, an existing model?
Well, no, it won't replace, because the current Vitara, certain models will continue anyway into 1998. What we have with this one, Escudo, which from our point of view, thank goodness, will be named the Grand Vitara. Okay. So it continues the family name of Vitara, which is so important. We've invested a lot of money in promoting, creating awareness for the Vitara.
And what sort of price sector will this fall into then? Obviously more expensive, but going up to what sort of level?
Well, our main priority, particularly in the Vitara range, is to make certain that we're in the £10,000 to £15,000 sector. Yeah. And with all of the new activity that's just around the corner, from a few names that should remain nameless, no free advertising, we have to make certain that we retain our value-added product range. So we've got to hit that £10,000 to £15,000 sector still. Okay,
well let's try and go through the sort of timetable. We're talking about this vehicle going on sale in the UK when?
Well, we're targeting at the moment launch, as say, from the Geneva Motor Show. So we'll be in good time for the main selling season next year. 5-door model priority first.
Okay, so early 98 in that case. In the second half of 1998, we got something that I think is, well, as intriguing, if not more so. And that's the little Jimny, as they call it here. First of all, what are you going to badge it as in the UK? Are you going to be brave enough to do away with the Samurai name and opt for this one?
Well, the Samurai name, as we all know, has been, I suppose, the backbone of the 4x4 range for so many years. Yeah. We made a decision just about 2 years ago to focus and concentrate on the Vitara, much to the disappointment of a lot of our dealers and also our customers. We sold over 40,000 of the SJ and Samurai type. So we have to go for what you say, the name over there, the Jimny, which will be available. We're discussing this week SOP, start of production, and it's got to come into our range for the second half of next year.
And I think you've got a significant price breakthrough in that you're, well, let's hear it from the horse's mouth. Can this car come in at under £10,000?
Mike, it's got to. You know, listening to the dealers, listening to our customers, and we've got, we've got 40,000 of them out there. They want the price entry 4x4s. It's all very well, even for us, to gradually move the 4x4 range up market, but we have to have the price entry. Yeah. Ideally, I'd like to see that between 8 and 9,500.
Well, that's crazy money for that sort of product, because the great thing about it is it just looks so good. It's good to see, you know, something that looks, you know, almost military-like again. You know, Jeeps and other 4x4s have somehow gone a bit too smooth. It's good to see this looking a bit more slab-sided, looking a bit more sort of back to basics. You know, what the traditional 4x4 was always like.
Exactly. I love the way you say crazy pricing. Don't forget, we were considered crazy in 1979 when we came in with the original LJ80 and the SJ. Yeah. So crazy pricing? No, we think it's going to be a realistic price sector to go back into that semi-military look. Yeah. And whilst it's very nice and it's very important to have new styling, more subtle curves like the new Grand Vitara, we need the semi-military look still. Right. And I think this is a wonderful move by our designers, listening to market research. Let's have the semi-military look back again.
Appealing to an entirely different audience, of course.
Totally different customer.
Absolutely. And of course, don't forget, John, I did mean crazy prices in the nicest possible way. And if we're talking about crazy prices, let's go on to a crazy car, the C2. I mean, it defies all logic. Even speaking to people in the business, when I mention the specification of this vehicle, they say, no, you must have it wrong. It can't be. But that car exists. We've seen it at the Frankfurt show, and we've seen it now in Tokyo. We've had a word with the man himself, Mr. Suzuki, asking if it's going to go into production. We're very excited in Europe about the C2. Can he be precise and tell us exactly when or if this car is going into production?
C2 についてお伺いしたいんですが、非常に素晴らしい車だということで、いつ頃発売されるんでしょうか、ヨーロッパで。Not yet.
But when will a decision be made about that car?
いつ頃それはお決めになるんでしょうか。
半年ぐらいのうち。
Maybe within a half year.
Okay. Is he confident? I mean, are the chances good for this car?
この車は非常に素晴らしい車ではないかとお思いですか？
そう僕は思っています。
I think so personally.
Some manufacturers have been suggesting that extremely fuel efficient petrol engine cars are almost as efficient as electric vehicles. What is your feeling about that? Is the future for the environment an electric car or ultra efficient petrol engine car?
車の将来は、高性能のガソリン、いわゆるその燃費の非常に少ないエンジンを搭載した車なのか、それとも電気自動車のような車になっていくんでしょうか。
僕はやっぱり燃費のいいガソリンエンジン。
Basically, very efficient on the gasoline engine.
それはなぜかというと、電気を使った場合にいろんな問題が。
In case of the electric vehicle, there are so many problems to be resolved.
Changing the subject drastically, with its technical know-how and engineering knowledge, why isn't Suzuki getting more and more involved in motorsport?
これだけ技術力ありながらですね、どうしてスズキはレースの活動に
Four-wheeled motorsport, not motorcycle.
4輪のレース活動には従事されていかないんですか？